Hello and welcome to CivilNet. My guest is Nvard Manasyan. She's an education specialist, and Nvard is here today in our studio to talk about the 22nd anniversary of Armenia's independence. Nvard, technically you are not of the independence generation. You're slightly older, so you were born in the Soviet era, but you really, your youth, the years where you were forming opinion and value and worldviews was during the independence, was post-1991. We have often been talking about the privilege of independence and the gift that independence was for the Armenian people after almost 800 years of foreign oppression, a short-lived 2-year republic, and all of a sudden we have independence and we have the attributes of statehood. Do we appreciate them as much as we should?
I think we're learning to live with them in a very content-wise manner, and it takes time to actually become someone in a collective to understand self-government and the power of exerting authority. We have been taught not to have any authority, and it was not associated with us. We never saw ourselves as humans being systems and being the creators and benefactors of the common good. So it takes time actually to go from what I want to what we want. And I think we're doing that.
So there has to be this notion of community, collective existence, cohesion. The last 22 years we've seen people come together around a specific issue, and then when the issue is resolved or when it is no longer exciting, then it dissipates. And yet, so with every movement, are we moving toward that social cohesion, toward that collective existence as a nation?
In small and big groups, yes. I think we were more successful in big groups over major issues like Karabakh issue. But in smaller things that we didn't pay attention to, we didn't think of those as being part of our lives. We thought that they are being taken care of. We are learning, like in a group of 2 or 3 people, changing something in the community. It was never something we envisaged, but now it's part of our lives. It's becoming more so. Even the discourse is changing with the other generation, which was born during the independence years. It's an absolutely different approach to life. But my take is a person who is a bit fractal and had both is the appreciation of what we didn't have, why we didn't have it. I know how different and difficult it was when we didn't have it, and I have tons of explanations how precious it is as a gift.
I'm going to ask a very simplistic question that's twofold, or maybe it should be separate questions, but let's try it. What does independence mean for you, Nvard Manasyan, in 2013, and where would you like to see, what kind of a country do you want Armenia to be today?
What it is now. There's one thing as always, I personally appreciate the fact of common heritage, of the things we didn't have, and we reconquered, we found it again. We didn't have family histories. We didn't have a history as a nation. It stopped somewhere there and someone was writing it for ourselves. We now have the privilege of interpreting whatever happened previously, and we can write about our own history. It's an immense capacity of that really unlocks the imaginary capacities of any group. And it's not the creativity that it gives. As a human being from Soviet era, I can tell why we lacked creativity. Just because of that, we didn't know who we were. And I think I appreciate it also in very mythical ways, very much linking it with our major story, the legend or the myth of David from Sassum. We're growing up, we are finding our horse and sword and the shield. So we're not running around in a field and killing and annoying the animals anymore. And I think that's independence. That's my language. That was another thing that I can create in all spheres of life in my own language. As a person, I was deprived of that, and it was a kitchen language, a dying one, actually. Discovering it anew with all its capacity, the precision of the logic that it has, and what it gives to us as people who are responsible for the future. We are the owners of the future, and we do create it through the language. So that's independence. That's how I feel it. The fact of doing the things together in our own land and loving it. Actually, I mean, I'm talking this amidst the migration. It doesn't matter. We still love it. There are a lot of people who long for this country, and they are craving to come back. That's independence for me. What I want to see, I have personal dreams. I want the spiritual part of what we understand as Armenia to become very physical. I want to be able to touch it the same way as I see it. And I'm sure that most of us have longings for that because we have memories. So that's what I dream for. And for that to happen, I think we will have to cherish the one we've got. And that's why I think we will have to have actually internalized sense of democracy, which we are in the process of internalizing through mimicry and faults, errors, but I think that's the way to go. Nobody's going to take risks on our behalf, and if they will take the risks, it will be for their own benefit. So falling down, stumbling, and still standing up and walking is what I imagine as what Armenia should be. And I'm very, very proud of that.
Well, thank you for explaining it in such an interesting way. And it is about the freedom to choose of where you live and how you conduct yourself individually and then as a community and as a nation. So thank you very much. And I think that today is we can say Happy Independence Day, happy birthday to all of us as Armenians, for those of us who live here and for those of our compatriots who live abroad and who dream one day of also having the privilege of living on this homeland. Thank you, Nvard.
Thank you.
Our guest was Nvard Manasyan, an education specialist who was in our studios to talk to us about the 22nd anniversary of Armenian independence. Thank you.